here, and today we're going to be looking into some of the urban legends that seem to plague most of America. Hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so we are right outside the little town of Perry, Oklahoma, and we are going to start with the Hookman legend, which I'm sure you have heard some version of the Hookman legend. But as it goes, a teenager was driving his girlfriend home from a date. The boy had been playing around earlier about the car running out of gas and means to make out with her. Well, it doesn't work. She gets mad. He starts the car to take her home, apologizing the whole way. And lo and behold, they do actually run out of gas, and he pulls the car over by some trees. It's late and the area is secluded and wooded. The boy tells his girlfriend that he saw a gas station a couple miles back, and since it's going to go ahead and take even longer, he tells her to stay in the car with the windows rolled up and locked, and he'll get back as fast as he can because there's no sense in both of them going, right? Well, the girl waits in the car. It's been about 20 minutes, and she hears a faint scratching noise on the roof of the car, and it starts to bother her. But she blows it off as tree branches hitting the car. It's been a windy day. She decides to turn on the radio to listen to some music so it won't freak her out, and it's almost been 2 hours and she starts getting worried. Her boyfriend was a jock and could have easily made it back in under an hour. Half an hour later, she's really worried and decides to turn on the radio off and look around. He told her not to get out under any circumstances, so she tries to peer out the window and sees nothing. To her annoyance, the scratching sound is still there. She decides to get out and just long enough to take a break and break off that branch. She gets out and notices that the gas can is on the ground near the door. She immediately turns around to see her boyfriend hanging upside down from the tree with a slit throat, and it was his fingernails scratching across the roof of the car, making scratching sounds. And of course, if she'd been listening to talk radio, she would have known that a maniac had escaped from the asylum near the woods where they were parked. So it's a pretty spot-on story. There are other stories of then, they got scared and they took off, and then when they got, the boyfriend was in the car, right? And they got scared and they kind of took off. And then whenever they got back to their dorm or house or whatever, and they got to open the door, there was a hook hanging from the door with a severed arm hanging from it, like the hook man was scratching on the side. So yeah. So I'm just driving around in this video looking for creepy bridges that are supposed to be the sites of these urban legends, but obviously, since they're urban legends, there's very little proof that it happened in the area. And then another story about a creepy bridge that seems to be all over is the Crybaby Bridge. A Crybaby Bridge is a nickname given to some bridges in the United States, and it often reflects an urban legend of a sound of a baby can be heard, as it has just been thrown off the bridge or is sitting in the water at the bottom of the bridge. The urban legend is relating to a baby or young children, so sometimes they hear young children, not a baby. Now, with all these different stories, they seem to have all a very similar story, but not the same. A woman is driving or riding in a carriage or car at night. Sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's just, at nighttime, and the horse gets spooked, and they lose control, and they careen off the bridge to their deaths. And the story is if you go late at night, you sometimes will hear a baby crying under the bridge, or sometimes you'll see a woman in white standing on the side of the bridge. This story used to really scare me as a kid. I don't know if it's because my mom and I would drive home late on Sunday nights after church on back dark country roads, or maybe the inherent creepiness of a baby crying alone under the bridge. But yeah, I think it's a very creepy legend, and it seems to have a lot of, stories about it. Another one I've heard is there's a Crybaby Bridge that you can go park under, right? So it's like, I don't know how you can park under it, basically, so you can drive under the bridge. And if you're supposed to, if you go and you park your car under the bridge and turn it off, and you turn off the lights and everything, you just sit there, you're supposed to be able to hear babies crying outside of your car. And then when you go to start your car is not supposed to start again, and then eventually it starts again and you drive away. And when you get out of your car, when you get back to wherever you're going, you'll see handprints on your car, which is inherently creepy in itself too. Here's another bridge we found. This bridge actually used to be similar to the other one. It was a lot lower. They rebuilt the bridge in, I think it was 1970, I want to say. But anyway, but before that, there was a moss that actually glowed in the dark, and parents would bring their kids down into the area and tell them the story of old Green Eyes, which is basically just, escaped convict, like the Hook Man or whatnot, escaped, and he has glowing green eyes, and you would, go park on the bridge, and then when you're looking around, you could see some of the moss glowing, and that was old Green Eyes. But since they have remade the bridge, and it doesn't, drop down as far, I think those stories have ended for the most part. Still a really pretty bridge, in my opinion. And the last bridge we'll go to may look familiar. It is actually from the Randonautica video, which, come to find out, is also supposed to be a Crybaby Bridge. What are the odds? But yeah, this one I think has a more creepy feel, personally. But I thought I would leave in some footage from that video, just because, we have a video about a bunch of creepy bridges. So, yeah. And that was the story of Crybaby Bridge and the Hook Man. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you guys next week on Halloween. Okay, if you push this circle right here, you'll subscribe to my channel, and if you push this one right here, it'll take you to the previous hike, and then this one right here will take you to the full playlist of all the Oklahoma hikes.